All right, with so many manufacturers leaving analog and going to digital, there seems to be a shortage of analog drones on the market. Now, I've felt that pressure as well, and I have recently decided to go digital, hence the reason I have this right here. Today, we are taking a look at the DJI Goggles V2 and see if it's the right option for me as well. So let's open this up and see what's inside. All right, so you have your DJI box here. Pretty standard DJI box. It's been a while since I actually looked at a DJI product, but here it is. Typical white clean box here with the name of the product and actually a picture of the product on the face here. All right, so I have my unboxing knife here and it looks like I don't even need it. It's a pretty cool tab right here. I can just pull this off and that should unlock this packaging. Sweet, that's a nice touch. This gives me DJI Spark vibes. That's the last time I actually bought a DJI product. This thing is heavy, guys, but this seems to be all the manuals and stuff in here. I can see the goggles right here. It looks pretty awesome. Let's put that to the side for a second. Let's see what's in here. All right, cool. So we got a battery here. It's a 2S battery. I think you have the cord for said battery. This is a USB-C to USB-A cord here. And that's gonna be used to update and activate this goggles, so that's pretty cool to have. You have antennas. I think we have like 4 of these. Oh, there's 2 of them in here. So they're very short. I thought this was 1, but there's actually 2 antennas here. Very short, stubby antennas. Here's the power cable here. This is like a barrel to USB-C, so this will be used to power this device. And you have, this looks like a head strap. All right, we'll have to attach it to the goggles eventually. You have a carrying case. It says DJI. I wish there was an actual case, like a carrying case though, besides this. This is like, this can damage it. And sure enough, yeah, there's some microfiber material on the inside. It's gonna be hard to see on camera. All right, that's to the side. And here you are, your goggles. Let's pull this bad boy out. There we go. All right, it's surprisingly light. I thought it'd be heavier. The box is heavy, maybe because of the other products. Let's take a look at this goggles here. Now, DJI makes, I mean, if you've seen any DJI products in person, they make pretty good quality products. So there's no shortage of well-designed and well-manufactured products in here. Looks really good. The first thing I noticed here is just the black shield here in the front. I don't know if that's an antenna or not, or if that's the housing or access to other parts. I do see the 4 ports here for your stubby antennas that we talked about earlier, these 4 antennas. That's pretty cool, and you can obviously update that in the future. There's a lot of ports under here. You have these 2 adjusting mechanisms. I guess they call it diopters, you know, for different faces and eyes. Besides, on top here, you have a joystick, which is pretty cool, a back button, and a red button that says record. So that's your record button. Very hard to see on camera here, but hopefully you can see it. On top here, it looks like you have some ventilations right here. Besides that, you have an up and down button up here. Below here, you have 2 more ports, and that's a micro SD port. And that's cool because you can actually put files on there, or you can actually record your flight footage. This is obviously a digital and therefore an HD recording on here. So that's pretty awesome. And over here, you have a USB-C port, obviously for firmware updates and just for other features that DJI might have in the future, maybe like telemetry out or maybe video out. Besides that, this is supposed to work with glasses. I do wear glasses. I'm not wearing it right now during filming. I don't think I will need glasses for these. I'm nearsighted, so I can see very well near, but I can't see things far. So this probably is gonna be good. Now let's put this on my face just to see the quality, because there have been stories of not so nice fit and finish. And obviously every person's face is different. You have flat faces, you have curved faces. You can't really make a perfect product like this. So let's try it on, see how it feels. All right, so I have more of a curved face, not flat. And there's just tons of light leakage here. And I know this is, I said before, I just said it, this is made for glasses. So it's intentionally very wide right here. Now you can get optional or aftermarket padding, foam padding here. And I didn't want to buy it because I didn't know how it was going to fit on my face. but after using this right now, I'll probably have to get that. All right, so let's take a look at some of the specs. All right, so this is the Goggles V2. They made a V1, very similar specifications. This one has a higher refresh rates, but very similar, almost identical form factor. Now the weight on this one here is 420 grams, and I don't know if that's heavy or not. It feels heavier than my box style analog goggles that I have, and that weight also includes the strap that we have here, which it weighs nothing. Now the big thing here compared to the version 1 is the refresh rate. As I said, this one has a 144 Hertz refresh screen, which is pretty good for if you're a racing pilot. So there's no delays in what you're doing, especially when speed and milliseconds are pretty much very important. As far as communication, this is pretty standard, just like any other goggles, 2.4 gigahertz and 5.8 gigahertz. Now the power in this is very controversial and it depends on your region. Obviously it can range. We know there's a little bit lower power output if you're in the European region. There are ways to get around that, but is it legal? I don't know. So do that at your own discretion. We'll talk about that in the next video for sure. All right, now as far as the bit rates and the information coming to your goggles, we have there's actually two modes for this goggles. There's a low latency mode and a high quality mode. It just depends on what you're doing. Low latency will give you the fastest speeds, so you have very responsive, and that's 120 frames per second. Now, if you go to the high quality, it drops down to 60 frames per second. As far as the transmission range, it's showing 10 kilometers for the FCC, which is North America, and 6 for the European region. Now, video format, if you really care, is very common format here, MPEG-4 H.264, and that's really good for video editing. Not the highest quality, but it is not bad either. As far as the memory card, the SD card on here, it's a micro SD card that's required, and it can support up to 256 gigabytes on that card. So nothing larger than that. Most people don't have a card that large anyways. Now to power this thing, we have this barrel plug here. Most people usually take a barrel plug and convert this so that you can use your existing 2S, 3S, 4S LiPo battery. DJI does include a battery here. It's a 2S. DJI is claiming you can get around 110 minutes. Obviously, most FPV drones, we fly for, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, nothing more than that. So you can probably get 20 flights easily with this battery. The concern now becomes if you go on a trip and you're away from home, you don't have all your batteries or accessories, then you might want to opt for a bigger battery, and I'm sure there's some on the market. No big deal. I wish that they could put a battery in here. It might make it heavier, but it's still going to be in your head. Most people mount these to the goggles anyways. Maybe an option DJI in the next version, version 3. Maybe a small battery in here that can give you maybe 60 minutes of flight time. And if you want to upgrade and have the barrel plug with the external battery, yeah, it gives you longer flight time. But you just want to have something that's compact and all integrated into this goggles. Yeah, guys, that's it for specifications on this goggles. As I said, this thing looks really awesome. The build quality is good. As far as the quality of the image, I don't know yet. I haven't experienced it. I've done only analog. So next video here, we are going to do a setup, bind it to a digital air unit, and then go for a flight and see how impressive the image is, guys. So yeah, let me know what you think about these goggles. If you're on the fence about going digital, let me know why you're on the fence. For me personally, I try to buy things once and just stick to it. So I did go analog, and I figured I would just use analog as long as possible. As I said before, a lot of manufacturers are now going digital. They're making more and more digital drones where there's less options for analog, and hence the reason why I don't say I was forced, but you know, it's a sign of things to come. It's just easing you and nudging you to go digital faster. So for me personally, it was just, I want to stick to a system. I'm sure you've seen the price for these things. They're not cheap, so you want to buy it the first time and hopefully it lasts you a lifetime. Anyways, guys, let me know about what you think about these goggles in the comments section. If you have any questions about this, leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer those as soon as possible, and I'll also try to include those questions or answers in the next video, guys. Hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever I do drop that video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.